happiness, humanity, healing, and health. Because you're lucky, you have beautiful stores here to get organic foods. Where I live, there's no organic foods. You know, we have to drive, either to Omak or to Spokane, which is 100 miles. And if you look at our grocery stores, there's no organic foods because people can't afford them. If you're living on EBT, which we have a great poverty level, one of the highest in the state, if not the highest, people, a one-person household survives on $169 a month. Two-person household, $350 a month. How can they afford organic foods? They can't. So the store doesn't offer them. So guess what? I see kids that rip open a bag of top ramen and just eat it, it's like chips. Then they chase that down with a green energy monster drink, and that's natural to them. Meanwhile, I have a neighbor just down the road who lost her leg, amputated from diabetes this last week. I have a brother whose heart problems. People who buried one of our dear elders who volunteered at the camp this last week, from sickness and disease, cancers. Those are all run rampant on the reservation. We don't have medical like most communities do. My doctor ain't even a doctor, So, it is what it is. So what can we do but learn how to grow food, organic, healthy food? So it's through the people who come and help, share their knowledge, permaculture, share their knowledge of whatever skill that they offer. And we're teaching our kids how to live sustainable with the land, with prayer and respect to the land and with each other. And that's my hope, to continue on. This, with COVID, it really struck us hard at camp, where we are a volunteer group. And Methow has kicked some butt, your community has kicked butt. So pardon my French, that's all I can speak in French. But that's what it is. I really felt honored to come here just because Methow has really helped us. The primitive life skills, the Fairy Congress people, the Methow Arts in the Interpretive Center, and my dear friends who live here who just volunteer their time to go over there. Those of you guys who know Skeeter, Michael Pilarski, he comes over and just offers his time. And, many different relatives. So we also work with relatives in Spokane and Sandpoint. So hopefully we'll be having a work party here in a couple of weeks. I'm just going to open it up really quick before I end. If there's any burning desires, the good kind. Anybody?
Dan, you spoke about land acknowledgements a little bit. Could you just point people to, I know you created a podcast where that was the topic, so if somebody wants to dive deeper, how would they find that?
On my website, or I have a link tree. Anyhow, I have a podcast called Honor All Life. And on Honor All Life, I started it around Christmas time. Because working at the community center, I know during the holiday seasons, in the winter months, the suicide rate rises. Alcohol involved domestic violence and a lot of assaults, drunk driving, all those things happen during the winter months, because that's a hard time to live. And through the holiday seasons, we go through a lot of depression and despair. And unfortunately, it takes a lot of lives. So I wanted to do something, So I created a podcast for grief, for grief and depression. So I started off that way, talking about different topics. And if you see my video, you also see I lost my boy in October. And, my boy, his name is Pusaya, and my beautiful dog that just was my loyal. If he was here, he'd be right here. He was just so loved. And he just really loved me so much. I lost him, and so myself, I went down that dark tube, as well as I lost dear friends, relatives through the COVID pandemic, and I just really went downhill. I struggled, but I wanted to help people out. So if you look at our story, 2020 Year of the Warrior, you'll see how we had to pick ourselves up. So we shared our experience, we shared our healing, which required these medicines, which required the songs, prayers, and faith. And we wanted to help people out. So along that way, that's how the podcast came to be with Land Acknowledgement. Because now as we shift into the springtime, we're getting ready to put the seeds into the ground, into all the different things in camp. We're shifting our focus towards that, to lifting each other up. So we kind of ended right there because all of a sudden we got this crazy busy rush of life the last few weeks. And here we are today with you fine folks. It encouraged me to come over here today. Rob, and I want to thank each one of you, that opened the door, as well as everyone here at the door, as well as everyone here at the Interpretive Center, that gives us an opportunity to share Indigenous voice, the Indigenous voice, and to the community, into your events and gatherings. And just in closing, when we talk about the land acknowledgement, when you think of all the memories that are here and those that are going to still remain here, always be a part of this land. Now that you live here and reside here, that you are also creating memories here too, but also got to remember the indigenous people who've been kind of pushed off to the side, who also have that connection here, And so to embrace us and welcome us, share our voice and our presence, into these communities and gatherings, that's good medicine. That's good medicine. And we have to do that on behalf of those children, so they could see and understand. We have to do that for the young people. We can't forget about them, because we always talk about youth this, youth that, but our young people, we forget about them after they turn 18, and we just push them to the side. And we need them, because they are the ones that are coming up. Now at our age, we're the ones having to get up here and talk, We should have indigenous elders, but we don't have those. We've lost a lot of them, this last year. And so now we're having to step up. And it's hard. It's not easy, My legs are shaking like this. You just can't see it. No, I feel good. I feel welcome here. I feel really, really good, And forgive me if I don't have a lot of eye contact with you sometimes, because when I'm talking, I don't see people's face. I don't see how they're dressed. I'm talking to your spirit. That's what I'm talking to. It's from here, my heart, my spirit, feeling you, talking to you in that way. So sorry if I get too deep sometimes, but believe me, I could get really deep sometimes. Sometimes I could just bring that humor and happiness. We just got to build a little fire, have some marshmallows, have a good time, and some songs and dance. I love to come out and dance. So hopefully in October 16th, we'll be back. They're going to have they're talking about having a powwow up here. And so I may come back to help and support that. I did an interview today with the K-Root Radio, and Rebecca, wonderful girl. I don't think she's here, but I'm going to start writing a book about my experience, and I want to share that with the people. I want to share that with their cultural centers. I want to share that with their educational systems, to tell our perspective as I learned it through my lens in my walk through humanity. Because I think this experience in life has given me a great blessing to live with you, you know, and to build things together, you know. Even though our Young Warrior Society is there in Nispilum, we have a connection here in Methow. And one day maybe we will have more of a home and presence here. One day we'll have a big presence in Wenatchee. Right? That's going to happen. Chelan, that's the one I really want, right next to the water. You know? That's where we should have our place, right next to there. Why don't we? Wenatchee, so forth, all through our traditional homelands. It would be wonderful that our people could feel welcome and be at home and have friends and relations. Our stories told and shared, and that we could learn how to have food together, eat together, play together, dance together, pray together, sing together, love each other, have babies together. Hey. We have to create this relationship and move forward. And we have this wonderful opportunity. Even though the world is going through some crazy, crazy times, you know, and our circle may seem, you know, erratic and despair, there's beauty. There's beauty within that. And this is what we can create moving forward together, you know. So it's right here with the land, right here with the water. That's the most important things in life. And that's our common, you know, connection. It's that beautiful land. So we love it, we pray over it, we take care of it, and we come together upon this land in prayer. We come together in a good way as relatives. In our language, we say, peace naksilte. We are all one family. We are all related. So I just want to say lemlemt. Can you guys say lemlemt?
Lemlemt.
Lemlemt is thank you.